Our next author is Kristy Everington. She is an MFA. She has an MFA writing for children and young adults literature, and she's going to talk about her debut book, Isobel Adds It Up. Kristy, hello.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Oh, it's wonderful to be here. I loved your book. It was so fantastic.
Thank you so much.
And I love the name. That's my daughter's name, Isobel. So I'm going to pass this along to her, even though she's in college.
Is it spelled the same way?
It is not. It is not. I love that it had the O instead of the E. That was fantastic. So I told her already, like, oh, here's a new variant of the spelling.
Yeah.
Kristy, do you mind reading a little bit from your fantastic book?
Sure. Okay, Isobel Adds It Up is illustrated by A.G. Ford. Isobel loved math. She loved the soft curves of the number 3, the hard edge of 7, and how numbers always made sense to her. In the quiet of her room, she sharpened her pencil and zipped through her homework. And then the new neighbors moved next door. They made loud noises. They bumped, they clomped, they banged, they stomped. Isobel said, I think acrobats live next door. She couldn't concentrate with all the noise. She had subtractions, additions, multiplications, all due Monday. She tried working the garden, but her subtractions got soaked in the rain. Inside, the rumbles got louder, the trumpets grew shrill, the stomping shook the walls. Isobel couldn't think. She said, I think a marching band lives next door. She shushed them as loudly as she could, but the trombone just growled for longer. She stuck tissues in her ears and wedged herself in a cupboard, but it was too dark to do addition, and she could still hear the neighbors. They danced and they shouted and played their music aloud. She tried to count the drum beats, but couldn't keep track of the numbers. That marching band has no manners, Isobel cried. She decided she would play her own music loud and see how they liked that. She turned the volume up as far as it would go. Her music mixed with theirs. What a ruckus. Finally, their music stopped. But then Isobel heard the neighbors dancing and singing to her song. She stamped her feet up and down, making nearly as much noise as the neighbors. Isobel had never handed homework in late before. She stared at her math problems, but the sounds of party poppers and a conga line made it impossible to focus. Numbers didn't make sense to her anymore. Not even tracing the curves of 3 could cheer her up. She had to do something about this noise. Thunk, thunk, swish. There, did you hear that? Isobel asked her father. That's a ball bouncing on the floor. I think a basketball team lives next door. Isobel had an idea. She made peanut butter cookies because she liked measuring flour with a 3/4 cup, and everyone knows peanut butter cookies are the best. She left them on the neighbor's doorstep with a note. Dear basketball team, welcome to the neighborhood. I understand it is difficult for you to be quiet because you have big feet, but I would appreciate it if you could keep the noise down, please, as I have 14 math problems due on Monday. I hope you like the peanut butter cookies. I made them extra peanutty for you. Love, Isobel, apartment 2. That evening, a note got slipped under her door. To Isobel, sorry about the noise. Thanks for being understanding. We do have big feet. We will try to be more quiet. Thanks for the cookies. Peanut butter is my favorite. I also have math homework due on Monday. Maybe we could study together. Love from Bernadette. Isobel wasn't sure. She loved quiet, and Bernadette made an awful lot of noise. The next day, there was a loud knock. Bernadette was not what Isobel had imagined. And it turned out she was an excellent study partner after all. They could do subtractions outside, even when it rained. Bernadette was fantastic at times tables. She could remember 6 times 7 every time. After all, an elephant never forgets. They baked different peanut treats together. Isobel measured and Bernadette cleaned up. When it got too loud inside, Bernadette helped with that too. They both finished their math problems on time, and sometimes Isobel joined the ruckus next door.
Kristy, that is fantastic. I loved your book. It was so wonderful. Isobel is such a great character. She's great at math. She's great at music. She's a problem solver. But then you have that mystery of bringing in Bernadette. Talk to me about the character of Bernadette.
Oh, I love Bernadette. Bernadette is a neighbor that we'd all like to have, I think. Great at math, helpful with baking. It was nice that Isobel could make a friend who she had so much in common with, even thinking that she would have nothing in common with her. But it turns out that they both love maths.
Kristy, have you always been a reader? Like, how did you become a reader and writer?
Yes, I have always loved reading from a young age. I had a library card, as you mentioned before. It was so important to me. I would hit the library every week and just take out stacks and stacks of books, and I love them all. What I loved about it is that they can take you into different worlds and show you experiences that you can't have, or maybe you just can't have yet. So you get to have all of these adventures elsewhere that you can't have in your real life, like having an elephant for a neighbor. That can't happen in real life, but it can happen in a story.
Maybe it can. We can
maybe.
try.
I live in hope that maybe one day I'll have an elephant as a neighbor.
Well, Kristy, I hope everyone picks up your fantastic book. You too have an amazing bookshelf back there. Do you have a book you'll recommend to all of our listeners today?
I do. It's called Hello, S.T.E.A.M. I do have it back there somewhere, but I can't immediately see it. It's called Hello, S.T.E.A.M. It's by my friend Stephanie Lucianovic, and it came out just last year, and it's about a girl who loves a star and she wants to save it. So
ooh, I can't wait to read that.
It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's illustrated by Vashti Harrison.
Ooh. Well, I will pick it up, and everyone should go pick up not only that, but also Isobel Adds It Up, because it's such a wonderful book.
Thank you.